arrived here faced with a more volatile and dangerous world. A mechanised war in Europe on a scale not seen since 1945. And increasing aggression from authoritarian states, challenging our security in Europe and beyond. But as we leave Vilnius, we are more confident and more united than ever. And let me set out 3 reasons why this is the case. First, we've acted decisively to strengthen this alliance, agreeing the most fundamental transformation to NATO's readiness since the Cold War. Comprehensive warfighting plans to defend the UK and its allies. Scaled up defence production to boost our stockpiles, which will benefit British industry. And increase defence spending, with all allies now committed to hitting the 2% target. And we did something here in Vilnius that not long ago seemed impossible. We welcomed Finland to the table as a NATO member, and very soon we'll be doing the same with Sweden. We are stronger with them by our side, and in time we will be stronger with Ukraine as a NATO ally too. And this is my second point. It is now over 500 days since Russia's invasion. 500 days of barbarity, of innocent people being murdered in their homes, of children being killed, abducted, and used as human shields. I want to pay tribute to the Ukrainian people and to their incredible bravery and resilience. They're still standing strong and defiant, and the counteroffensive is making progress. In the last few weeks, they've taken back more ground than Russia has taken in the last year. And we are standing with them, and allies are doubling down in their support. At the Munich Security Conference in February, I called for long-term security arrangements to protect Ukraine, break the cycle of Russian violence, and ultimately help end this war. And today, we have delivered. Together with our G7 partners, we have agreed to provide the long-term bilateral security commitments that Ukraine needs. These commitments mark a new high point in international support for Ukraine. And I want to be clear, they are not a substitute for NATO membership. The summit communiqué echoes the UK's long-held position that Ukraine's future is in NATO. And we've taken a big step this week towards bringing Ukraine into the alliance. Together, we've shortened their path to membership, removing the need for a membership action plan, and holding the first meeting of the NATO-Ukraine Council with President Zelensky sitting at the table by our side as an equal. And finally, I'd like to say a word about the UK's role here. I was struck once again this week by just how valued our contribution is. The British people should know that, and they should be proud. We are the leading European contributor to NATO. We were one of the first to hit the 2% target, and now we're moving towards 2.5%. We spend more than 20 other NATO countries combined, but it's about much more than that. It's about our incredible armed forces across land, air, and sea. We're one of the only countries that contributes to every NATO mission, with RAF jets patrolling the eastern flank, troops on the ground in Estonia and Poland as part of NATO's enhanced forward presence, and the Royal Navy, including our 2 aircraft carriers, providing around a quarter of NATO's maritime capability. It's about our deep partnerships. With Japan and Italy, we're producing a 6th-generation fighter through our Global Combat Air Programme. And with AUKUS, we're working with Australia and the US to build some of the most advanced nuclear-powered submarines the world has ever known. And it's about leadership. We've led the way on Ukraine, moving first on tanks and long-range missiles, training their troops for the counter-offensive. And just today, I've announced we're providing more ammunition, 70 more combat vehicles, as well as a new rehabilitation centre for injured Ukrainian veterans. We're moving forward with the Combat Air Coalition, and the UK starts training Ukrainian pilots next month. And we're using our leadership and technology to keep NATO at the cutting edge, hosting the European headquarters of the Defence Innovation Accelerator in the UK, and holding the first global summit on AI safety later this year. The United Kingdom has been there since the start of this alliance. In 1948, in the hope of avoiding another devastating war, we joined together with a handful of allies to pledge that we would come to one another's defence. That pact was the seed of the North Atlantic Treaty. 75 years later, faced with new threats in Europe, NATO is more important than ever. It has proved itself to be the most successful alliance in history. And this week, we've shown once again that the UK is at its heart.